The head of state of Gabon, Ali Bongo Ondimba, properly fulfills the duties of his office and drives the dynamic. The spokesman of the office of the president set the record straight yesterday before the press in Libreville. Côte d'Ivoire has decided to boost its education sector. 10,300 new teachers are expected to handle their first students as soon as the new school year begins. And in football, Philippe Coutinho is on the way to Bayern Munich. The midfielder of the FC Barcelona is on loan to the German club for the next season against 8.5 million euros. That's all for our top stories today. Stay tuned for more details in this newscast. Free Wi-Fi will soon be available in Ghanaian public schools and universities. The announcement was made last Friday by Vice President Dr. Bawumia. In recent times, high schools and universities have been the target of a broad government policy aimed at improving the intellectual work of learners. This decision is intended to facilitate internet research by pupils and students. The ultimate goal is to optimize academic outcomes. The Ghanaian government is well aware that access to internet is fundamental because it can better the quality of education in many ways. In particular, it opens doors to a wealth of information, knowledge, and educational resources which will increase learning opportunities in and beyond the classroom. Teachers will use online materials to prepare lessons and students to expand their range of learning. This access to internet is much more aimed at young Ghanaian girls because it will help to correct the inequalities in education experienced by the girls. During the celebration of International Youth Day 2019, Dr. Bawumia, in presenting them with a trophy, reminded the girls that they are up to the task and in many cases even better than their peers in advanced countries. At the same time, he challenged Ghanaian youth to keep their mind open to possibilities. The spokesman of the Presidency of the Republic of Gabon held a press conference yesterday. Ike Ngwoni highlighted several aspects mentioned by the head of state in his speech to the nation. He took the opportunity to clarify some points, including the fight against corruption, the increase in stock exchanges, and many others. In this case, there is no point for debate. The recent appearance of Ali Bongo Ondimba suffers no dispute. This is no longer time for pointless comments that bring no added value to democratic debate, but time is rather allotted to actions to be taken in the short term because people are asking for more. Ngwoni spoke without any political cant, with all due respect to those who resist the truth. Ali Bongo is alive, he is indeed, and he is in charge. After everything was clarified, Ngwoni did not fail to answer questions by paraphrasing the head of state who, during his speech in August 16th, dealt with key issues such as territorial development, the Trans-Gabonese project, this hyper-structuring and ambitious project on training and youth employment, the top priority of this 7-year term, the fight against corruption, and, above all, the results of the reforms initiated in 2018. If things are slow to materialize because they are very ambitious, Ngwoni persists, and Ali Bongo Ondimba backs it up that he will spare no effort to offer Gabonese a better life through these reforms. But to get there, the Gabonese president said one finger alone is not able to lift anything or to kill a louse. All the fingers need to work together. Because every link in a life chain has a specific role to play, it is time for one another to set aside their differences and to favor the common interest because divided we fall, but united we stand. In Côte d'Ivoire, the Chief of Staff of the Minister of Education, Abdoulaye Kouyaté, announced last Friday the recruitment of 10,300 contract teachers. They will undertake accelerated training for them to be ready to handle students in schools as soon as the 2019 and 2020 school year begins. This decision follows the acute shortage of teachers in the country. The cities of Daloa, Bouaké, Subre, and San Pedro are the most affected. These are 5,300 primary school teachers, 3,000 middle school teachers, and 2,000 high school teachers who are supposed to have started their training from yesterday, Monday 19th August. These 5,300 contract teachers will be trained across the country for 60 days. As far as these teachers are concerned, they will be divided into academic disciplines and trained for 45 days. Teachers in modern literature, history and geography, education in human rights and citizenship will be at the Abidjan Classical High School, among many others. To reassure parents and skeptics, the Chief of Staff has indicated that it is not just those 2 months or those 45 days of accelerated training, that there are 36 educational branches across the country that will be responsible for mentoring these teachers on the ground of capacity building. In addition, during these school holidays, the latter will undergo 2 months of training in order to give a quality education to the children. Scheduled to last 2 years, time for the government to make the right decisions. Their integration into the public service according to the level of academic, pedagogical, and behavioral output. The city of Yokohama will host TICAD 7 from August 28th to 30th. The 7th edition of the Tokyo International Conference on the Development of Africa, an initiative of the Japanese government to develop economic exchanges with the countries of the continent. Tokyo is obviously less present than China and does not have its unlimited means, but its presence is strengthened by public aid and private investment. The latest in Gabon is Food Quality Security Project financed by the people of Japan, coordinated by the United Nations System for Industry. Economic growth in Africa continues to improve, with GDP growth estimated at 3.5% in 2018 and expected to reach 4% in 2019. However, the continent has infrastructure needs that range from $130 billion to $170 billion a year, without which the continent will find it difficult to cope with the high rate of population growth, its urbanization and consumer demand, in addition to its economic development pathways. The public sector, governments, and donor agencies cannot meet these immense needs alone. It is therefore necessary to expand partnerships and collaborations with the private sector, which plays an active role in economic growth. The 7th edition of the International Conference on Africa's Development will be an opportunity to address barriers to investment in key sectors such as infrastructure, energy and trade, security and information and communication technologies, and finding solutions to them as Japan and Africa mark more than 25 years of cooperation. Philippe Coutinho, the Brazilian midfielder, will play with Bayern Munich until 2020. The former teammate of Lionel Messi is on loan to Bayern Munich for 8.5 million euros. The new Bavarian recruit took his medical check on Sunday and signed his contract. Despite 2 championships and a King's Cup, which he won in 18 months with the Blaugrana, Coutinho never adapted to the game of 2 great players, Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, and leaves Barcelona in a failure situation. In Bavaria, he will have the heavy task of succeeding the 2 veterans, Robben and Ribéry, who left at the end of the last season. A fallback situation for Bavarians, who were focusing on the Manchester City German international Leroy Sané until his serious injury to the anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee 2 weeks ago. The head of state of Gabon, Ali Bongo Ondimba, properly fulfills the duties of his office and drives the dynamic. The spokesman of the office of the president set the record straight yesterday before the press in Libreville. Côte d'Ivoire has decided to boost its education sector. 10,300 new teachers are expected to handle their first students as soon as the new school year begins. And in football, Philippe Coutinho is on the way to Bayern Munich. The midfielder of the FC Barcelona is on loan to the German club for the next season against 8.5 million euros. That's the end of our newscast of the day, but keep watching Gabon 24 for further news.